Hello and welcome to another video on Heliopsychology with me, Annani Kelley, PhD. Today's video is going to discuss the rapid increase in solar activity, going to touch again on tinnitus as well as the psychological effects of space weather. But of course, to recap previous videos, it is all about the energy. Humans have an electromagnetic field that is produced by the heart and brain. Our hormones also respond to fluctuations in solar activity. Our human electromagnetic field is largely modulated by endogenous ferromagnetic particles and the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Again, today's focus, the uptick in solar flares, plus redux, tinnitus, and psychological effects. So this screenshot is from spaceweather.com. I am not affiliated with them in any way, but as they mention, AR 4366 at sunspot region 4366 has grown rapidly over the past day. Indeed, it has produced a triple peak flare, M7, X1, M6, that was long duration. They also show an SDO image of the extreme UV flare from STO, which I did try to get a movie from. STO does allow movie functions. It was not working with me, though. I did get a movie from helioviewer.org of the rapid growth of 4366, but I'll get to that momentarily. Now, this is a screenshot from the one-day data from GOES X-ray Flex that I took at 21:26 UTC. That's 1:26 Pacific time. So between 1200 and 1400 hours UTC, you can see that triple peak flare. And to bring home just how much the solar activity has increased over the past day, I want to share this image as well. So from roughly the 26th to the 31st, it's kind of calm, not a whole lot going on. You can see that. And then you could see starting on the 31st into today, that rapid uptick in solar activity. And that is because of sunspot 4366 there in the upper left-hand region of the visible solar disk. Now, while the SDO website is having issues letting users create videos or downloading data, you can do this with helioviewer.org. So there in the left-hand side panel, you can choose your observatory, your instrument, your measurement, and so on and so forth. You can choose observatories from the European Space Agency and even from Japan. So this is not just an SDO product. This is also other agencies have the capability to use this as well. Excuse me. I'm having a little bit of issues with my throat still, so bear with me. Now here is a video. It's very slow, but pay attention to that upper left-hand quadrant, and you can see region 4366 growing. And again, I did take this through helioviewer.org. And if you would like to watch this video again to see this growth of the sunspot, feel free to just jump back 10, 20 seconds so you can watch that again. Now I'm going to revisit tinnitus here. So I'd mentioned in the previous video on tinnitus that space weather produces a sound. Solar wind produces sound, geomagnetic storms produce a sound, the magnetosphere produces sounds. More of that is in my previous videos, as I mentioned, but I'm sharing a screenshot here again to show that sounds of the solar wind from NASA's Parker Solar Probe. I'm not going to play this video, but you can watch it by visiting the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory YouTube channel. So I theorize that these inaudible sounds, now they are outside of the range of human hearing. Humans can only hear within a certain range of frequencies. This is considered infrasound or below the range of human hearing. However, I theorize that one of the reasons why we have tinnitus during solar activity is because our bodies are still responding to the infra audible sounds. And additionally, perhaps, and again, this is a theory, I am not saying this is fact, but perhaps one of the reasons why we experience tinnitus is because of bone conduction. So these are vibrations that are happening. It's not just energy, it's also the vibration of that energy. So when we have solar flares, we experience radio blackouts, specifically in the ionosphere. That's creating vibrations in the ionosphere. And perhaps, again, theory, not a fact, these vibrations and these infrasounds, these inaudible sounds, are still being picked up by the ear by virtue of vibration and by virtue of bone conduction. Now, interestingly, I had been asleep during the X flare, and I woke up with a start, like I was startled awake. And if I'm sleeping and there's an X flare, that happens a lot. And indeed, when I did my dissertation, one of the effects of space weather that was reported was a decrease in your quality of sleep. So space weather was inversely correlated with quality of sleep, as sunspots or solar activity increase, the quality of sleep goes down. Now, you may also notice changes in your behavior or changes in the behavior of others. Some people may feel energized. Some people may feel angry or violent. Now, some people may not notice changes to their behavior, but you may notice changes in the behavior of others. Not everybody is self-reflective, and certainly not everybody is self-reflective on their emotions or their behaviors. Sometimes it takes having someone point out the alteration in behavior or the alteration in mood for a person to recognize it's happened to them. Why or why not? Why are some people more aware of this than others? Why do some people feel it more than others? Because we are not clones of each other. By virtue of biological sex, half the population is different from the other half. Your age can have a bearing. Whether or not you have an illness such as a CNS or ANS disorder or cardiovascular disorder, whether or not you're on medication, whether or not you live near a magnetically active region, whether or not you live above 42 north, because more solar activity enters the polar regions than near the equator. And again, I do have an app in the works that I'm working on. I won't get into that now, but I did discuss that in my previous videos. The one I don't like, the one I do like. And I'm just going to say again, the one I do like, I love because it offers a multi-factor, correlational analysis against the variables you input and against space weather. I cannot roll these out to the public because I do need to upgrade them to make them available to public use. This one also does have the history function, so you can go back 30 days and put in data, and that will give you more data to work with for that multi-factor correlation analysis. So future videos will include the hows and whys of heliopsychology, how to read the sun, discussions of relevant research, updates on solar activity, and answering questions from viewers. So if you would like to see more videos like this one, like, subscribe, and comment. If you have any questions for me about whether or not the sun may have a factor in XYZ component of your life, again, I'm still having problems with my throat. Leave a comment and let me know. Ask me a question. If you would like to collaborate on a research project, space weather and psychology, space weather and biology, space weather and spirituality, space weather and meditation, the sky's the limit. Contact me through YouTube's messaging service or my personal email, dr_helio@mail.com. If you would like to support my channel, my research, I'm also slowly starting to write a book that's focused on my dissertation and heliopsychology. But also, if you'd like to donate to help me get the apps out to the public, please do that via Venmo, and that's Dr. underscore Helio. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.